Welcome to the Grant Writing Simplified podcast. This is the place to learn how to make a big impact in your community through grant writing and nonprofit consulting. The world needs you to step forward as a grant writer and use your skills to lead with confidence. I'm Teresa Huff, former special ed teacher turned grant writer and nonprofit strategist. In my 20 years of freelancing, I've helped nonprofits triple their funding and exponentially increase their reach. Now I'm stepping up to mentor freelancers and nonprofit leaders like you who are ready to take your skills to the next level. It's time to get intentional about your vision so you can create lasting change in your community. Learn the skills and strategies you need to become the grant writer the world needs. Let's do this. Hey friends, I've heard from a lot of you lately at different stages of your grant writing journey. The one thing I keep hearing over and over is, where do I start? There are lots of places you could start, and that's where we often get paralyzed. This podcast is called Grant Writing Simplified for a reason. We're looking at the various aspects of grant writing and breaking those down into doable baby steps. So today, I'm going to give you one simple way to improve your writing. Whether it's grant writing, reports, emails, or whatever, we all have to write something in life, so we might as well make it as good as possible. This will also give you a taste of what's in my VIP program, Fast Track to Grant Writer. If you're ready to move through a lot of baby steps like this one in a short time, then the Fast Track is for you. In this super practical episode, the skill I'm talking about today is learning to write tight. Easy enough to say, right? But what do I really mean by that? In school, it was sort of ingrained in us to be wordy and use lots of filler just to meet the page quota. The English paper has to be 10 pages, so we start rambling and being as wordy as possible just to pack in those 10 pages. Grant writing is just the opposite. Every word counts. Often, grant applications will have strict page limits, word counts, or even character limits. But then they'll turn around and have these lengthy requirements of what information must be included. You're supposed to explain your program in detail, show all the supporting data, and clearly define how you're going to use the funds. How's a grant writer supposed to cover everything in such a short space? You learn to write tight. That's how. Here's an example of what I often see from typical writing. This is a short paragraph that's taken from a grant application. It is proposed that a fitness center be developed where senior adults can regularly exercise. This project involves the renovation of the basement level of the local community center and converting it into a workout room, and the purchase of exercise equipment. The proposed program would be conducted under the close supervision of medical and exercise professionals. Future maintenance of the project will be made possible through appropriations from the city and volunteer fundraising efforts that will be carried out by the nonprofit organization. Phew, that's a mouthful. Pardon me while I catch my breath. It sounds professional enough, but seriously, would you want to read that and try to sort out what they're asking? All right, that's 84 words, and it took up 7 lines. Let's try to tighten things up a bit and see what happens. Here's my suggested revision. This program will create a fitness center tailored to senior adults. The local community center's basement will be renovated and converted into a custom workout room. Medical and exercise professionals will closely monitor the program. Future maintenance will be sustained through city funding and local fundraising. That's it. That took 46 words and only 3.5 lines. So it literally cut it about in half. Which one would you rather read? Let's compare just that first sentence alone. In example 1, the first sentence said, "It is proposed that a fitness center be developed where senior adults can regularly exercise." In example 2 says, "This program will create a fitness center tailored to senior adults." See how we cut out all the fluff and use more active, direct wording? That's much more effective too. Instead of saying, "It is proposed that," just say, "This program will." Instead of, "A fitness center be developed," we will create a fitness center where senior adults can regularly exercise. Just say the fitness center is tailored to senior adults. It's obvious they will be regularly exercising if they have a fitness center. Look for ways to tighten up your writing and make it more interesting without losing the concept of what you're saying. Also, remember that there's a person at the other end of everything you write. Even if it's formal writing, like a grant application, a person will be reading and scoring it. Write for that person. Keep it professional, of course, but also be clear, concise, and compelling. Don't make them sift through the filler words just to figure out what you're saying. Just say it. It took me a while to get the hang of this, but once I did, it became more and more natural. Once you become more aware of this in your writing, you'll start noticing it and shoring up your writing. And you'll probably start seeing it in other people's writing too, which will kind of get on your nerves. You're welcome. If you struggle with doing this on your own, and hey, no judgment, it takes lots of practice and it's super hard to edit your own content, then consider jumping into the VIP program, Fast Track to Grant Writer. We'll be going in depth into a lot of writing skills and strategies like this that will really make your grant application stand out. And you'll get direct feedback from me on your writing. We'll have 8 weeks of intense modules covering the strategies behind grant writing, mapping out a plan to help you move toward your career goals, and we'll cover killer grant writing skills like this one. This is a pilot program, so it's your only chance to grab it for this price. Now, if you are already working with a nonprofit in some capacity, I want to make this program as relevant to you and your situation as possible, so the homework can be customized to the work you're already doing. That way you walk away from the program with things that you can implement immediately and with feedback that's going to improve your current situation and the work that you're doing with the nonprofit. So far, over 1,400 people have gone through my beginner grant writing courses. I'm hearing things like this recent review from a student just last week. These were very easy steps to apply for beginners. She does a great job explaining things and highlighting important points that must be remembered. This made writing a grant less daunting and scary. The formula is going to come in handy, and it's easily something I can look back to and use. I love hearing those reviews, and I so appreciate you all taking the time to do that. If you're ready to invest in your future, and ultimately in the community around you, then sign up for Fast Track to Grant Writer. The sooner you get started, the sooner you'll be on your way to grant writing success. Sign up at teresahuff.com/VIP. December 15th of 2020 is the last day to get the bonus one-on-one strategy session. Someone told me just yesterday on a strategy call, wow, this was so helpful. I never would have even thought of doing that, but now I know exactly where to focus next. Enrollment for the pilot program closes December 31st of 2020. Yes, that's New Year's Eve at midnight Central Time. And yes, that sign-up deadline is intentional. Let's kick 2020 out the door so we can start 2021 on the fast track. If you love this show and you learned something new about being the type of grant writer the world needs so you can create a ripple in your community, please go leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts today. Thanks for listening. Now go change your world.